Collective, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at the energy around our health, our well-being, mind, body, soul, via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages that come through, as well as some Ayurvedic lifestyle habits, wellness protocols that we can implement to really just support ourselves, support our happiness, our well-being, our fulfillment. Ayurveda is a very beautiful. Oh, great. Do I not have any volume? All right, hold on a second. Hello? Oh, wait, that's why, because it's on the. Sorry, guys. I was making sure that we have. But my. Oh, okay, good. Sorry for that. I wasn't worried that I didn't have audio again, but I double checked. I had my stuff connected to the Bluetooth. Anyway, all right, welcome in. I hope that you're well. I have missed you guys this week. I was off on a little Ayurvedic adventure. It was a lot of fun. It was just really nurturing to the soul. I was with a lot of really great people, learning, diving deeper into the practices of Ayurveda. Such a blessing. You know, Ayurveda really is, I just was reminded, and anytime we do anything along those lines, you know, we just get reminded of the value, the importance that health and wellness really brings to us. And Ayurveda is a huge proponent of weaving it into the day to day, right? Like making sure that we have good routine, good diets, good habits, etc., because that's all going to help support our mental, our emotional, our physical. And we can easily forget that, or you know, life is really busy, and if you have a lot on your plate, a lot to do's, it can be really challenging to carve out time for our health, for our wellness. And I've noticed, just like modern day, it's a great opportunity to get really creative around what that looks like for you. It doesn't have to fit into the mold of, you know, what gets suggested. Yes, there are some good things that are out there, lots of good information on how to bring more wellness into our being. Ayurveda is all about like establishing the foundation, establishing a healthy platform, because if your body's not healthy enough to receive certain things, then the herbal medicines, the supplements, whatever, those things aren't really going to work. You know, our body's not going to respond to it because there's other things we need to get out of the way. And that can be in any avenue, right? That can be our physical body, maybe doing a little bit of a detox or a cleansing. This is a really good time to do it. Well, I guess we're a little bit late in this season, but usually Ayurveda recommends a cleanse or an Ayurvedic cleanse. It's a little bit different than the Western style cleanses, but at the turn of a season, because we're kind of releasing the excess energy, pacifying the doshas of the body, the humors of the body, so we can be more in alignment, more in balance with our constitution. So yeah, I don't know why I went down that Ayurvedic rabbit hole, but it was a great time. It was so much fun. I missed the channel for sure. I did one video while I was gone, but I really just kind of wanted to focus on what was in front of me. I appreciate your guys' patience. Super excited to be back. Feel a little bit more inspired, enlivened, and let's see what comes with that. So we're actually just moving out of Gemini season. We're moving into Cancer season. I love Cancer energy. It is just all about nurture, support, love of self. It represents the fourth house in astrology, and also equated to like our home, our stability, our foundation, where we get that nurture and support from, and making sure that we are inviting that, bringing that into our day-to-day living. You know, I mean, that was one of the biggest things I was reminded of throughout this last week, is what life actually looks like when you are loved and supported by those around you. It makes things possible. It makes it kind of cancels out the noise, right? The background noise or the chaos, the unnecessary drama, chaos, etc. And it really helps you put your mind, your attention to where you want to thrive. Again, a huge thing that Ayurveda is all about, putting our intention or samkalp towards what we want to manifest, right? And a lot of times it's just getting the BS out of the way. So Cancer season allows us just to love, nurture on self, really evaluate who and what is who and what in our life, and how much energy, how much time, how much mental thought we want to give it. And then making adjustments accordingly, because it's a, I mean, Cancer energy is just so light and nice, and it's the quintessential lover, one of my favorites. So it's a great opportunity to just kind of give yourself those things and enjoy life too, right? It has a softer energy. Gemini season was a little more active and a lot more going on, and now we can be soft with self, finding that balance, like I was talking about, of activity and rest throughout the day, so that we are enjoying just, the goodness that's around us as well. I like to start off all my readings with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like to give over to spirit. Definitely do that. It's a great time right now. Spirit speaks to us in so many different ways. Symbolism, answers to our questions can pop up every which way. And it really is a good way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of a realignment of self, your mind, your body, your soul, I do pranic energy healing, as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because when we are aligned in self, that is really where we tap into our happiness, our fulfillment. We can manifest things way easier, way more quickly, or just honor ourselves. It just brings a lot of abundance into life, and we all deserve it. And I would love to support you in that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly, and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, spirit guides, guardian angels, mama love. All that mama love. We need all that mama love. Oh, all right. So let's get into this. Sorry, I'm pulling up my charts. All right. So the energy, I feel like there is some stability and balance that needs to be brought into your energy. That's what I'm picking up first and foremost. Just coming off of, as I was just talking about, just coming off of Gemini season. It's very busy. Oh, it's also the summer solstice. Happy. I forgot. Also, just side note, sorry before I get into this, but I'm going to try to go live tonight. We might do a little fun campfire type thing. That's my goal. It might be a little bit later on in the evening. I'm just going to go live if I can. And I'm assuming it will be I don't know, maybe 9:30, 10ish, if it happens. My time, Eastern Standard Time. So, just keep, if you want to join, it would be fabulous for sure. All right. But, so as I was saying, I get this energy of, A lot is happening, or a lot has happened. And I feel like you're in this space of ready for a little bit more peace and calm, or maybe you just need to bring that within yourself, processing through, kind of decompressing in a certain way. It's not like you're letting go of the reins, though, is what I'm hearing. Like there still is this level of you keeping things, your wellness, mind, body, soul, whatever that means to you, staying on top of it. I don't feel like, maybe there might be, and I think we got this last week as I'm talking about this, but I feel like there's this energy of like, you've been really on top of things. And so maybe you do need a little bit of a break, or maybe it feels like you need to cultivate some downtime for yourself. I love the spacesuit as the overarching energy, because it really does. In this deck, it talks about like where we're getting our oxygen, where we're getting our life force energy. And Ayurveda puts a lot of focus, a lot of emphasis on the breath. Prana is not just breath, it's deeper than that. But the way we breathe, the way that we hold our body, really does play a role at how good we feel. If we're kind of like slumped over and all, it's just compressing and it's restricting. And a lot of times, especially in like Kriya Yoga, we hear that we don't breathe. We don't fill our lung capacity, and what that actually does for our physiology. It is one of the best ways to de-stress. Any type of breathing exercise, pranayamic breathing. Yes, I know that there are things that enliven as well, but it's about harmonization is maybe what I'm trying to get at. So finding how to balance, right? We were talking about that as we were coming in. And I feel like that's kind of what's being put in front of you. And I feel like it's in this way, like you are testing out what you've done to date with your wellness, mind, body, soul. You're testing it out. You're feeling like, okay, like you've hit some sort of level, some sort of like accomplishment goal that you have. It might not be your complete end goal, but it does feel like there's progress and you feel happy and satisfied. But you also, like, there's a lot of work, and oftentimes we put work up front. We put a lot of work up front in order to be able to coast a little bit more as things progress, right? But again, I'm also hearing that underlying value. You're never completely letting go of the reins, because if we don't have this life force energy, if we don't have this sustenance that we can draw from, then eventually it does kind of fall flat, right? And so I feel like this is like an integration week is what I'm hearing, especially with where you're feeling like you're at, or what is working successfully for you. It's a deeper level of commitment I'm hearing. I think, okay, hold on, before I start saying all this stuff too, because we have some astrology things happening as well. Mercury's going to go retrograde at the end of the week. We move into Cancer, like I talked about, and Mars moves into Gemini. Thank goodness. I think this is good. So Mars has been under a lot of restriction lately, and it's unfortunately kind of put us in places where we might not get the forward momentum that we're looking for, or the opportunities that we really want to see come in aren't really manifesting, or we still kind of have some things to work out, pieces of the puzzle to kind of, well, and as I'm saying it, the hatchet comes up. This to me is a lot about refinement. It is about cutting off, but it also does have that component of like, it does have that component of how we do again sustain, in regard to like a hatchet is something you would use to cut up firewood, that value of like tools and resources is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing this in the way of like knowing what tools and resources are right for you. I think we were talking about that earlier, right? To not just kind of try to fit yourself in the box, in the mold. Again, Ayurveda is very specialized. It looks like at your unique individual physiology, your constitution, mind, body, soul, and how you can really find balance and harmony and stability given who you are and your wants and your needs, right? It's not going to tell you to go running if you hate to run. Like, that's your body saying, no, thank you. This is not the right mode of exercise or whatever for me, right? Maybe you'd rather play sports or walk or hike, and that's kind of what I'm talking about in regards to like getting creative about what works for you. Or I'm even seeing this as you have a lot of tools at your disposal, and now maybe you don't need everything. There can be a little bit of a reacclimation and an adjustment. Okay, the snake comes up. This energy feels very it feels very intuitive. It's reminding you. I'm hearing a lot of things with this. It's reminding you to pay attention to your intuition. It's reminding you that there are snakes in the grass. Not that you have to be fearful, because I feel like if this is manifesting in more of a negative force in your life, then it's all about you being able to like be prepared for it. Like, you're kind of ready and waiting. And that's how I'm hearing some of this stuff, especially with how the energy is playing out moving into the snake, because this is about you making certain decisions and choices for yourself, things that like you're not 100% certain that you can accomplish, but you're going to go for it, right? Whatever this wish is, whatever this desire is, whatever you do want to see manifest in your life, you're going for it, you're doing it. And I think there's been a lot of progress. I think there's actually a lot of prosperity. Again, I feel like you're seeing the fruits of your labor. It might not be the end goal quite yet. It might not be that jackpot, right? Whatever that looks like for you, or whatever the kind of wish is that you're looking to fulfill in your life. But it's coming, and I think that in the black energy, we have the crater, which this is woundings, patternings, things that pop up that hold us back. It's unfortunately when we go through certain experiences, our brain, our body, our mind, our soul, it remembers those things, right? And depending on the trauma, the severity of what you've been through, it's still playing a role. And these can definitely be equated back to like subconscious patterns, things that we might not even recognize, things that pop up without us knowing it, and needing to be conscious of those things. It all plays a part, right? Because again, if this is more of a negative energy, we'll clarify it. I'll actually pull one right now. But it has this value of you being ready for it, prepared for it, and being able to stand in your power as a result. There might be some things that like, and so, okay, because I'm hearing this as, and the tarot will help, but I'm hearing this as like, it feels a little bit like an outside energy coming in to question you, to challenge you. It might not be as negative as that. It might just be a simple conversation that brings up some stuff that you're like, oh, I wasn't even paying attention, or I didn't even look at that. It has this vibe of like, whatever gets said, it does feel like a little bit negative. And I don't know if this is just like something that's kind of a Debbie Downer in your life. Maybe it's a mental tape in the background saying you can't do X, Y, and Z. Again, Mercury's going to go into retrograde and it's in Cancer. So love, support, especially in terms of communication, the way we're interacting with the day to day, it might not be so friendly, or certain things might pop out, might get said that, I'm hearing this is like either, well, whatever it is, it needs to be looked at a little bit more, whether it's triggering something for you, whether like someone says something and you're like, shoot, I wasn't expecting that. Like, it has to be looked at a little bit more. Or it could just be that someone's trying to push you off track a little bit, say some things that feel a little unfair, or they are kind of below the belt. Backhanded compliment is what I'm hearing. But again, you're able to pick it up. It's not something that you can't. I feel like it just is something that again, we're coming into a lot of things that are challenging us. And I think this is a lot about Pluto moving into Aquarius, the changes that we can make, making the change, like in the process of doing so. And then we have to learn how to integrate that back into our life. And so we do keep coming into these dynamics that force us to look at things a little bit closer. I feel like someone's bringing in a new perspective that, I don't know. I mean, you can choose what kind of medicine it is going to be for you. Everything can be medicine, but it also depends on how we use it. If it's in this way to like berate or hate yourself or put yourself down, obviously that's toxic, right? But if it's in a way where you can use it as growth, as evolution, development within self, that is where your power lies. We have Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Let's see who and what this energy is for you. Ooh, when you're in the Five of Swords, this might be something that you're like not talking to, or you've had some really strong boundaries up in this dynamic. Okay. Something that is holding their energy back from you, but it's knowing that you're not really going to receive them because everything in your energy is like, nope. It's a big fat no. And this person knows it. I mean, they're no dummy. You know, they might be a little bit hurt from it, or they might feel, I don't know. I'm interested as to why they're thinking about you, or why there's like this desire to connect, seeing the value in the relationship, feeling a little bit like something missed out. This is also really soft energy. So if we're talking about it in relation to like you and your healing, this is the need to be softer with yourself and maybe not giving yourself enough love, enough emotional support. Maybe you even give it to a lot of other people, but you yourself are not like giving it to you, right? And this, if you were to, right, if you were able to like love yourself in the way that you love others and the way that you love those who are important to you, that is where your world is. Right now, the world is being blocked. What do I mean by that? Like, that's where you're able to just kind of embody this fullness of life, this abundance, this stability and balance within self. But perhaps the mental tapes, Five of Swords, it's some of the craters that have been created, some of the woundings, the things that have been said, the things that have been told to you. And if this is by a specific person, then that's exactly where some of that's coming from, right? And again, this is an energy that we saw off the get-go lingering around. Like I said, whether it's coming in the form of a person, of a situation, or it's more just something within self, everyone's situation will be a little bit different because these are collective readings. And take what resonates, leave the rest behind always. All right, let's look a little deeper. The Emperor pops up, Aries energy. Someone who is maybe working in conjunction with someone else. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords. You're very protective of self. You're very protective of boundaries. There's a lot of people around you that like want to connect. I don't think that they necessarily are. Well, I don't really necessarily see that. And there's that Three of Cups. I'm going to clarify this Eight of Swords for you. We have the Queen of Swords. You're very much in your like no bullshit era. That's what it feels like, right? The Queen of Swords is not going to put up with anything. And it's, to me, it's coming through that you've made a lot of really strong decisions for yourself, maybe important decisions for yourself. Perhaps this has closed down interaction between you and other individuals. Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles, which is a really nice energy. Like you're searching elsewhere is what this is saying. Like whatever this was over here, we literally have three people popping up. Like I said, Queen of Cups, the Emperor is Aries energy, and the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It doesn't have to be those signs. It's just people or situations embodying those energies, major players in your life, people that it does look like want some type of connection, but I don't necessarily see them going towards that connection with you. I feel like it's more like a lingering on the sidelines in the background, like maybe wanting to have connection, right? Obviously wanting it, but not initiating it for some reason. And you're already, I don't know why, I don't know what has separated you from this, the devil. Well, there we go. It was something that I think you had to approach very rationally and very realistically, and that's where that Queen of Swords comes into play. I don't know. This looks like a messy energy. Maybe people were just being really messy and you said, no more, no thank you. I'm done and over with this. This is like leading with the faith that there are better things out there for you. And maybe you just had to go through a time where you could re-regulate self. It does look like you've done that, or you're being very protective around this. Let me see. So we have the devil, we have the Seven of Coins. Someone thinking they had more time, or that maybe it was better to wait. And waiting hasn't really paid off. Yeah. That's more that energy that is like surrounding you. Because again, this does feel like you are... I'm going to look at what this Eight of Swords is. Four of Pentacles. The Judgment, interesting. And the Knight of Swords. Okay. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's... Why is this important? Let me look at this. Why is this important? Okay. So you might have put some boundaries up with people that, I don't know, maybe it wasn't 100% appropriate. Like not in a bad thing. Like I feel like you were protecting yourself, or you had to go through a time where maybe you were limiting interaction, conversation with certain people. Because it looks like the Eight of Swords is coming through with this understanding that maybe you did self-protect a little bit too much. Maybe it was a little bit of projection, or like I said, just like places that there could have been some really good things offered and certain things happen to provoke this devil. The devil can be a lot of different things too for us, but essentially it represents the chains that bind us, the things that we think or feel or project or whatever that just never end up in good results, right? It is definitely related to fears. I see this popping up a lot with clients I've been reading for lately. It's more the fear, right? Or the fear that life is going to play out again in the same way. And it looks like, maybe you're readjusting what community and support looks like to you. That's exactly how we started off the reading, right? Where it's a lot about Cancer season is making sure that you're honoring your heart, your mind, your soul, and especially from that space of mama love, you want to call it the divine feminine, nurture, what regardless of what your mother actually is to you, but what a mother should be to you, right? And even in psychology, they talk about how when we get older, as adults, we do have to mother ourselves, so to speak, because the mother is the foundation, it is the support. It's how safe we feel to go out into the world and experience life. And depending on what the mother relationship is like in the early years is going to strongly dictate how we manifest that in the older years. And that can be really challenging, especially if you don't have great relationships with your mom. I can totally attest to that. It's a really it can be very scary. Life can feel very vulnerable, if you don't have that safety and support, if you don't have that trust or that knowing that you can come back into that safe space. But that's why as adults we can give that to ourselves, whatever that looks like. And again, it might mean that you have to be a little bit creative with how you are supporting, even if, because we all have a variety of factors: partners, children, families, work people, community. Like there's always so many different things going on. And so essentially it is that value, that safety, that support lies within ourselves. And that's what we have to be able to nurture and love. And that is where you find this abundance that I think you're seeking. I mean, I feel like you're very comfortable, confident in self because you do have a lot going on that is like good and happening and manifesting in a really powerful way. But if we're going to go back to this like life source energy, like where you're finding that strength, that sustenance, that is where you do have to open yourself up to that support, right? Yes, giving it to self is the foundation, but this is also reminding us that unfortunately we pick up wounds along the way that are going to inform our decisions. But if we can take that step back and really just like evaluate things with an honest and clear perspective, then we know when it's the wounding and when it's actually someone being a piece of shit, right? Like then it's a little bit easier to see. It's, and here's the thing: you've had a lot on your plate. There's been a lot that you have come through, that you've overcome, but it does also feel like you are ready. And I think some of these snakes in the grass, like I was saying in the very beginning, some of it's good and some of it's not so good. But also we have to remember that like you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. And the way that we learn to trust ourselves is through self-care. Like period, um being able to like honor our mind, our body, our soul, taking time to like just be curious about yourself, how you think, how you feel about what goes on around you, who you interact with, engage with, giving yourself time to decompress and process. um, Not taking everything at face value, but also not like cutting it off because you're suspicious as well, right? And that's where the snake energy is both helpful and harmful because it is very feminine, it is very intuitive, and so we don't want to lose that connection. But we don't want to go the other way of hyper awareness or anxiety or fear that it's making the intuition tell us that there's more of these devils around. Because whatever this is for you, it definitely feels like you've overcome to some capacity. It might not be completely out of your life, your environment. And again, when we're talking about health and wellness, it can be as simple as certain habits, patterns, thoughts popping back up that need to be readdressed. I think we got that last week as well, the blind spots. But it's like, to me, it also looks like the energy this week is like you've worked through that stuff and now it's just a deeper integration. and a trust of self. And know that you can let go of some of your safety protocols with this hatchet energy, right? Like certain things served you for a period of time, and there's maybe some things that you don't need so much anymore. And it's actually going to help open up to this abundance that we're seeing with the world, which is really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's really powerful. Sorry, I'm rolling. And all this takes time. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes intention. It's not always the easiest to do, especially when there is like, this is really funny. It's just like a group of energies lingering around watching. You know, I don't know if you just have people really curious about what you're going to do next, or, you know, but they're definitely sitting down, grabbing some popcorn for the show, is what it feels like. And I don't necessarily see you paying attention to it. Maybe that's why it's making me laugh, because it's you're not engaging, or you're not necessarily aware of it. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just kind of like you have your mind, your attention on other things. And I also see like it's paying off. I guess I've already said that, but it is paying off. It's paying off in a good way, in a powerful way, in a way that feels like, I think overall there is this level of success that you're feeling. And we were picking that up in the very beginning, right? It's also just how you're going to sustain it. So activate your mind. So you've done a certain amount of healing, and now it's ready to like open yourself up and kind of like activate that new level, that new phase, is what I'm hearing. And again, that kind of goes back to these places that we're getting creative, or being a little bit more flexible, or tuning our health, our well-being to like your own personal wants and needs. Diamond strength uplift each other 100%. That uplift each other reminds me of the Five of Pentacles. I'm not going to take these. I'm going to pull off a few more, but it reminds me of the Five of Pentacles when, shit happens. It's not fun at all, but at the same time, it teaches us, it helps us to become stronger, better versions of ourselves. And then when we feel a little more balanced, settled, regulated, then we can help support others. And when we support others, it helps take our mind, our mental, emotional off of our own problems. It puts problems into perspective. It's even wild, like before I left and like coming back, like what seemed like such a big deal just a week ago, like 6 days ago, not even that long. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot I was even caring about that, And I think that is the telltale sign of, again, it's a Five of Pentacles energy. When you're feeling down and out, go help someone else, right? And honestly, also, I'm hearing that's part of what's helping build this support for you. And it does feel very strong. It does feel very powerful. You might even be moving into a new season of, just new community, people that really do connect, vibe with you, that are a support that you're looking for. You might be a little hesitant if it is new people. That's what I'm picking up. Or if it's a deepening, if it's not new individuals, it's a deepening of the connections that you already have. And maybe in ways that it's hard to be open and vulnerable to others, but Spirit's challenging you a little bit, nudging you a little bit, right? Because it's good for us. It's good for our soul to know that people are good, that we will matching vibrations. Again, the cards never lie. They do the majority of the work. But it's attracting, right? Like you are attracting the right people, the right energies for you. And we have to remember that goes back to where we're putting our intention. If we're focused on all of the devils in our life, then it is going to bring us more devils. It is going to bring us more things that we have to overcome and work through. And I feel like you don't have to do that to yourself anymore. Like you've already got a handle on it, to the point that, again, you're not even aware of like whatever this is still kind of lingering in the background. And that's not a bad thing. I think it's actually a really good thing. I think it's, again, just enlivening those places where you are sustaining yourself, or you're sustaining your goals, your ambitions. opening up your heart a little bit, recognizing what it does actually mean to attract matching vibrations. And I think like, hey, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I see your message. Unfortunately, on these live ones, I don't necessarily do our personal readings. Excuse me, this is coming out a little slow, but thank you so much for your kindness, for your love. I will set up a live where we can do more personalized asking questions, etc. So I'm putting that on my agenda. Thank goodness my life has freed up a lot lately. So I'm hoping to integrate a little bit more of those things in the summer. But definitely come back. Come back. I will post it on the board and I'll keep it. And also I'll do a live, sorry, where I do answer more personal questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and support to the channel always. Okay, so matching vibrations, matching, and like the easiest way that we can understand what this is it like just feels good. It just feels right. There's no efforting or difficulty or trying to get someone's attention or, you know, whatever it may be. It has more this vibe of like, it's peaceful. It just makes sense. I think that's the best way to communicate it. It just makes sense, right? All right, final message. Nice, I love it. Dare to imagine. And there's our snake, you know, and I feel like that's, again, it's the twofold. It's like, yes, there can be messiness, difficulties, challenges that we need to overcome, but there can also be beauty that rises from that. And I feel like this is a double confirmation on like how we're letting these energies affect us, right? If we're going to let them take us down, you know, if we're going to focus more on the negative, on the bad, on the things that like really aren't helping us grow and evolve and take care of ourselves and nurture and support and sustain. And that's what this is all about right now. It has really good energy around it. Like I just love our readings lately because it does definitely look like whatever you have been efforting at, whatever you've been putting time and tension into, it's working and it's paying off. And to the point that you aren't really letting these old energies bother or infiltrate in the same way. And I hope you're seeing those results. And I hope that you're congratulating yourself, that you're giving yourself the validation, the props that you deserve, because it's not easy to overcome these energies. Oftentimes, when people communicate things to us that stays, especially things that are hurtful or traumatizing, those things stay with us for a very long time. Thankfully, the brain is neuroplastic and we can rewire our brain. That is the beauty of consciousness, of, you know, being a human. Even and the way that we rewire is through self-love, self-care, meditation, transcendental meditation. If you are meditation with a mantra, essentially, it really helps us unlearn the bad patterns, the bad behavior, and integrate the things that are actually life honoring, life giving for us. So thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Thank you so much as well, especially if you've watched through the whole reading. It really just helps support the channel. Any dropped comments below also does so as well. I love to connect with you guys. I love to hear if it resonates or just, you know, share in a little love, little TLC, saying hello and whatnot. I really appreciate your time, energy always. Know that I am sending love, good vibes your way. As I mentioned in the very beginning, I will be, yes, I'm sorry, Vicaris, Rasa. Sorry, I'm so bad. I can't read your handle. But like I said, I will definitely put that on my schedule to do a live where I can pull cards for individuals. I'm not going to do that today. And I also will let you guys know if I'm going to go live tonight for the summer solstice. So thank you so much. I'll be live tomorrow as well, tomorrow evening for our weekly forecast. I know things got shifted around a little bit. I was still traveling yesterday, so it was hard to get everything done. But thank you for your patience. Thank you for the love, the support always. I'm sending all the love and blessings back your way. Have a happy Saturday or Sunday. Happy summer solstice. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.